Roundtable Wrestling Radio for May 25th, 2017. I am Big O, aka Innocent from the Bronx, along with
The one, the only, the Byron.
and yeah, it's really early in the morning. We
Yo,
decided
it's fucking mad early, dude. This whole fucking setup stuff that we're going through, man, is ridiculous. But we gotta do it. We have to do
definitely apologize for the inconvenience, man. We have a little technical difficulties. And basically I never use Skype as much as I did for the last fucking 20 years it's been out. Like, I'm starting to learn a lot about Skype. Letting you know right now.
The Skype thing, man, it's just annoying. I mean, look, we were just having an issue with it because for whatever reason I would be calling O, and it would just keep ringing, and he could hear me, and I could barely hear him, but it's ringing regardless. You know what I'm saying? Like it just froze on me like twice. Then after that, it asked me to update it. I'm like, what the fuck? Like every week I gotta update this shit.
This only happens with you, though. I don't have none of these problems, man. I don't know. I remind me never to move the queens because I'm definitely. I don't need these kind of problems, man. But but this is Roundtable Wrestling Radio. We are missing a co-host, so I guess we're not a complete roundtable. We're like a U, zero cut in half. But
yeah.
But So basically, Backlash was on Sunday. NXT was on Saturday. I heard there was a UK event on Friday, which I didn't even know, which I'm kind of glad I didn't know because I'm not really in the mood to watch a million hours of wrestling. So
yeah, I heard there was some decent matches on that. I mean, I don't know what exactly went down. As far as I know, there's a new champion. I saw Triple H spinning side by side.
No, that was on NXT. NXT basically the UK.
The UK. It was the UK.
No, the championship changed hands at NXT.
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. We have a new UK champion.
And what's his name? I don't even know who the is.
Yo, truthfully, I forgot, man. I do know that he kind of reminds me of William Regal in a way. I kind of forgot the name, to be honest with you. Is it Pete Dunne or something like that? I really don't know because I wasn't really following the UK event. So, but I will say that NXT was a pretty good show. I might actually say that NXT was actually better than Backlash. The UK Championship definitely was a really good match. Everybody's trying to, you know how these fans are. Oh, match of the year, is this the match? No, it really wasn't. And actually, to me, it wasn't even the best match of the night. But what was you gonna say?
Wait, what match are you talking about?
The UK Championship match. I mean, they got really high praise on the internet.
So you did watch that?
Yeah, no, I saw everything. I seen everything. Yeah.
All right. Well, I was gonna tell you that I missed out on the NXT thing. To be honest with you, like it wasn't something that I was like oh, I can't wait to see it. I'm dying to see it. Like after I got out of work, I could have easily just came home, sat down, and watched the replay. It just didn't pique my interest. There was really nothing that really hyped me for it, so I didn't really watch it. You know what I'm saying? But I did see some results about it, and I read about it.
Well, I will tell you, it was probably a better event than Backlash. To me, it was basically more well done.
Yeah.
It was, there was a lot more matches that you could say, okay, they told a story, especially the DIY and the Authors of Pain's match. I mean, they really, really went at it in that ladder match.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know, but so DIY basically they had a great match with Authors of Pain, and towards the ending of the match, they were getting praised DIY because I don't know if you know they lost. Authors of Pain won, and
those are the big guys, right? The two Spanish dudes, or
yeah, I don't know if they're Spanish. I keep hearing they're Samoan. I hear one of them is Albanian. Truthfully, I don't even know. Yeah, basically, yes. They're saying that one of them is Albanian descent and the other one is Samoan. Truthfully, I have no idea. They look like brothers to me.
That's the darkest Albanian I've ever seen, man.
Yeah, so that rumor has to be false. But so Authors of Pain won in a very, very, very good match. I really enjoyed that match, man. I mean, it wasn't technical. It was just a lot of, it was just a lot of DIY trying to impose their will on Authors of Pain, which I thought was great. And, DIY had a standing ovation because they lost. And then towards the ending, right when the credits came up, you know what I'm saying? The crowd was chanting for DIY, thank you, DIY. And then Ciampa, the guy with the beard, decides that he wants to beat the shit out of his partner because they lost. So, and put him through a table. He beat him up. Let me tell you something. One thing about this heel turn, to me, it was not expected at all. There was no because usually when tag teams break up, usually over the weeks they have problems.
Right.
They'll start arguing in the ring during the middle of a match.
Right.
But, nobody really knew this was going to happen. And Ciampa just looked at his partner and just threw him through the fucking Titantron, power, whatever he did through the table. It was actually crazy. Like, he had beef with him for the last, a year. It was amazing.
Yeah, and that's actually good that you're saying that because, like I said, I didn't watch it, but by the way you're talking about it, if it was unexpected where they didn't really have any issues, they just went in there like they normally do, that's cool. I kind of like that because you don't expect this shit. Came out of left field with it. But one, I'm gonna tell you honestly, man, I agree. I'm sure 100% that the NXT event was good because a lot of people were talking about it. But there was only one match that I liked at Backlash, like that really stood out, and that was I know we're jumping everywhere, but we don't have too much time to be on here. But it was the AJ Styles and Kevin Owens.
We're definitely gonna talk about Backlash. Let's get in order because there's a couple of things I wanted to talk about before the Kevin Owens and AJ Styles match.
Yeah.
So in the UK Championship, Pete Dunne defeated Tyler Bate. I remember their names now, which is a really good match. It wasn't match of the year. You people
just look it up.
No. I actually no. Remember, I said Pete Dunne. It just listen. I'm a type of person. I kind of smoke a lot, and I need to really brainstorm. So that's what it is. That's my excuse. But Pete Dunne defeats Tyler Bate, which is a good match. Everybody's saying it's the match of the year. It really wasn't. It was good. It was a very good match.
Yeah.
Because you know how Europeans are. Their style's a lot more different.
Yo, seriously, people, stop saying match of the year, man. Stop fucking saying this shit.
Yeah, people are kind of, they kind of stretch it a little bit. They see a couple matches that's a little different than your normal American wrestling, and they feel like, it's the match of the year. But
it's like that whole fucking shit that it was what's the guy's name that was supposed to come from Japan? They were trying to get him in the WWE.
Ibushi.
He had a match with some Asian dude. He was in the Bullet Club.
The WWE was signing him. You ain't talking about Ibushi?
Omega versus Asian dude.
Kenny Omega. Yeah, Okada.
Typing up this match of the year. Nobody could top this. I'm like, and I watched that shit from the beginning to end. That shit was no match of the year, man. I still say that shit was not match of the year. I don't even think it was better than some of the matches from that pay-per-view that we saw. I think that they were trying to compare it to. You
know what it is? These fans are so tired of WWE and their, lack of telling a story that they see a match that's decent, that tells a really good story, and they don't know how to act. That's basically what it is. I guess everybody's comparing it to WWE standards. That's what I'm thinking. But so the event was good. I feel like the Oscar match wasn't really all that. That was probably the only match that was kind of It didn't really do much for Oscar.
It wasn't that good. I heard it wasn't that. I'm surprised it wasn't good.
Yeah, it wasn't really that great. And the opening match, which was what's this guy named Eric Young versus Roderick Strong, pretty decent match. And one thing I will say is Eric Young is definitely showing that he definitely belongs in the main roster. To me, in my opinion, he's ready for the he's definitely ready for the main roster.
Don't say that because I don't see. Listen, I like Eric Young. I like him, but he will fall victim to the main roster. I can see it. Trust me. He does not have a chance on the main roster. I don't know what it is, but I just feel that thing where if he jumps onto the main roster, he will get lost, and they would treat him like a fucking like a mid-carder, man. Like he wouldn't even fucking matter at that point.
Well, if he comes in with Sanity, I think he can make it. I mean, I'm kind of starting to dig Sanity a little bit. A lot of people try to compare him to the Wyatts, but
maybe with the group. But how long do you think that will last? You know what I'm saying?
Well, Sanity, they were still running strong. They're not stale. I'm not gonna act like I watch NXT every week, but I do watch every takeover, watch every pay-per-view they do, and I try to catch a show here and there. And so far, I can sense when something is getting stale right off the back. And I don't see them getting stale. I think they're doing pretty good, and I feel like them going to the main roster would be a nice little restart for them.
Right.
And stuff. So NXT and the Bobby Roode and listen, I'm keeping real with you.
Even good.
I'm trying to remember his name. You know, I'm very horrible with Asian names and Japanese names. They all sound the same. So yeah,
just drop a couple.
the guy who does the go to sleep. Yeah.
Yeah, I know who you're doing, but just drop a couple of Tupperwares, not Tupperwares, spoons and forks and shit down the stairs.
I can mumble and make noise in the background while I'm acting like I'm trying to say his name because I totally, I'm not even gonna try to butcher his name. But that match was pretty good. It was a really good ending. The way Bobby Roode finished him was, was actually it was great. And for what I understand, the Jap dude kind of, ran amok in the background in the backstage. I think he started to like basically fight against fellow faces, if you will. He started to flip on people, so maybe that's him turning into a heel. I don't know. I really don't see nothing special about that Jap dude. I don't know why. What's the hype about him? I saw him wrestle, and it's like I'm starting to think maybe the injuries in his shoulder, because I don't know if you know, he had a really bad injury, and then he got injured again. It wasn't really great. The match was good, but he didn't really show much to me.
I think him. I forgot his name too. I wish I fucking remember it. I wish. Maybe you can look it up while I speak, but as far as I know, this guy, when he came out to the scene on NXT, he was a big deal, and then he got injured. That kind of really took away from that hype about him. Then he came back, and then he got injured again, like real quick, and he was out for a very long time. And he just came back, and they threw him against Bobby Roode. Bobby Roode is over, man, and I think this poor Asian guy got fucked because of Nakamura. Nakamura took all the hype from if anything, whatever hype he might have had, because I'm not sure what kind of hype he had, but I know he was a big deal supposedly. But whatever kind of hype he had, Nakamura took all that and from other people also, and became the number one Asian dude on NXT. And now that he left NXT, nobody really cares about this guy because he got injured. Nakamura took all his hype away, and there's nothing really that stands out about him.
Nothing.
It's really nothing.
Nothing at all.
Yeah, and on top of that, he might get injured again. Who the fuck knows?
That was basically the point I was thinking about making. Like when, once Nakamura left, they put him into the to the spotlight, and it's almost like they're trying to replace an Asian with another Asian or a Jap with another Jap. It's almost like here, y'all lost Nakamura, but here's another one you can stand behind. It's just the only problem is he's not as good as Nakamura.
Yeah, that's also the other thing is that he lacks charisma. He lacks a fucking. As far as I know, he doesn't even speak that great. If he was to give him a mic, so there's really not much hype about the guy, as far as I know. I mean. And on top of that, he has a fucking finishing move that CM Punk had, but I suppose that he had invented it, and CM Punk took it from him.
Oh yeah, but you don't know. He actually, because it used to be called something else when he used to use it.
But regardless,
but he's actually calling it to go to sleep now. He made the move up, but he stole the name from CM Punk, which I think is kind of funny. It's almost like a jab to CM Punk.
Yeah, but regardless of what it is, whoever invented it, even if it was him. CM Punk was a big deal here in the U.S. You know what I'm saying? So, who is he to the U.S. people? Yes, we know about him, whatever, but we're always gonna really look at that move as a CM Punk, no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He's the one that made it.
Yeah, he's the one that got it over, basically. Yeah,
exactly. So it's like I believe he needs to stop using that move, come up with something different. Because that's not going to work for him, man. People are going to look at that as a CM Punk move, regardless if you invented it or not.
Yeah, and then the fact that you're going to call it to go to sleep, I mean, you're basically... Because, you have a lot of stupid fans that's going to say, hey, you stole CM Punk's move.
Yeah.
It's proof because you calling it to go to sleep. It's going to be kind of a hard argument to have to say, hey, I made his move up. But you're a Japanese guy calling it to go to sleep. No, you didn't. You used to call it something else, and I totally forgot. It was some Asian name.
Listen, I'm a wrestling fan. I don't know shit about this guy. All right, just because we seen him on NXT and we do a podcast, I know a little bit about him. But if we didn't do any podcast and he came up with that move and I saw it out of nowhere, I would think, this guy stole CM Punk's move. That's exactly how I would look at it.
That's what I'm saying. That's what ignorant fans is gonna say. I'm not saying you're ignorant, but that's what ignorant fans is gonna think.
But I'm saying what he needs to do is really just get rid of that move and come up with something else, man. Stand on your own feet right now because you're not really getting over. You're not getting over right now. He's gonna suffer.
Yeah. I think that's like all up to WWE to decide, I guess. But I'm moving right along. NXT was a really good show. I actually seen NXT right before Backlash, so I was fucking drained by the time Backlash was done because that's 4 hours of wrestling.
Wait, that was on Saturday though, at NXT, right?
Yeah, but I didn't see it till about 5 o'clock Sunday.
Okay,
so I kind of went right through the shit.
Okay, got it. Damn.
And then we got Backlash. Now, I wanna make a point about Backlash real fast. Leading to the Backlash pay-per-view, they were hyping up Nakamura. They had him on posters looking like Liu Kang with the kick straight, like he was gonna kick Scorpion in the head. Mm-hmm. I mean, he looked like one of those kung fu fighters that would kill you. Basically, the whole event was supposed to be about the homecoming of Nakamura.
Right.
And
his debut match.
And the match happens. He opens the card, mind you, which I did to me that totally makes no sense. I don't know if the WWE was looking at it like, oh, we want to start the the pay-per-view off with a good match.
That's such a stupid thing to do. Listen, you hyped the pay-per-view around this one guy. You made a poster about this one guy, and then you couldn't fucking. I don't understand what gave them the fucking idea of putting this guy as the very first match. You don't do that shit when you hyping that guy around that whole entire pay-per-view. That's like going backwards, man. Honestly, I think they should have just put him somewhere in the middle at least.
The middle, or at least right before the main event. Like
that's just a stupid thing to do, man. Sorry, that's just retarded. How do you call it? It's just retarded advertisements on how they're handling these things over there. That's just stupid, man.
So he opens the match up after weeks and weeks of hearing his music in every commercial of Backlash and promoting him like he's the man of the pay-per-view, and he opens the match up. He opens the pay-per-view up with Dolph Ziggler, of course, and like everybody stated, and 80% of the offense came from Dolph Ziggler. Right. To me, in my personal opinion, it looked more like Dolph Ziggler shined more than Nakamura, to be honest with you. There was something lacking about that debut. I know I'm going to get a lot of heat about this. Yes, he was a little over. He was over, yes, but it was something lacking about that debut. Dolph Ziggler getting 80% of offense throughout the whole match did not help at all Nakamura, and it definitely helped Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah, and that's another thing I wanted to say is that, you don't want this guy. First of all, Dolph Ziggler right now, okay? It's cool to get him a little bit over here and there in matches and shit, but we're against a guy who you advertising as a big deal and a big hype around this pay-per-view. You give all the fucking... Pretty much, he has to be the strongest one in that match. And that match came out as they're both pretty much equal. To me, honestly, that's what I looked at it as. The match was way too long. I think Nakamura should have went in there, had a 5-minute match, destroyed Ziggler, and that's it. But I don't know what they kind of made it like Ziggler was kicking his ass for a very long time. It didn't really make him look good, Nakamura. And then out of nowhere he comes back and beats him up, whatever. Big fucking deal. I think that they're I think we were talking about this the other night that they're booking Nakamura a little weird. I'm not feeling what they're doing with Nakamura, and I'm afraid that if they continue in this path, man, it may take a minute, but sooner or later, people are gonna start getting really bored on what they're seeing with Nakamura. You change his fucking, they refer to him as what the
artist, the rock star. I don't even think they know what they want to call him.
I don't know.
To be honest with you.
It's just I wasn't feeling it. I think he has a very cool entrance, and I think it's cool. It's a very hype thing. But when he was in the match, I wasn't into the match. I really wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was a good match, but it wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. But it was decent.
It was all right, but I wasn't into it like I thought I was going to be into it. You get what I'm saying? Like, because it was hype about him being on the roster, and he was going to pay-per-view was surrounding him. So it came out okay, but I don't think it was a big deal. Put it like that. Don't think it was a big deal.
Yeah, it wasn't a big deal. And like I said before, to me, Dolph Ziggler was the one that shined more than Nakamura. I don't care what nobody says. I mean, how the match went, you know, Dolph Ziggler 80% of the time was getting the offense, and Nakamura wins barely. You know what I'm saying? He didn't, you know, what's that word, man? He didn't like put that stamp. You know, he didn't put that stamp and say, "Yo, I'm here." He put the stamp like I almost lost or I got my ass beat by a dude that never wins. You know, like, and that's just my opinion. It just they didn't do no favors for him. And I'm gonna keep it real with y'all on SmackDown. I'm not gonna jump to SmackDown, but I wanted to say this part when he was in the tag match. To me, in my opinion, he just looked like another guy in the roster.
Yes.
He did not look like the big star that everybody. And I'm not, like I said, I love Nakamura, but all right, we'll save that.
We're definitely gonna talk about that too, because I want that shit also. Trust me, there's a lot
and
of things.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying there's a lot of things I'm not feeling how they're handling Nakamura. So we definitely gotta talk about that shit.
So you know, that's the opening match right there. The opening match basically featuring the guy who's supposed to feature the whole pay-per-view. So y'all go figure. Anyway, the next match, which I believe, I'm not really too sure because I got to start writing down notes, man, because I didn't really expect to really do just a two-man show. But then the next match was, I believe it was Breezango, right, against the Usos. Was that the next match?
You know what? I think these guys are two funny guys. I like them. I like the little skits they're doing and all that. But to be honest with you, man, when he was in the ring, what's his name? Tyler Breeze. When he was in that ring, him with the broom was funny, but then he continued with that broom for a minute, and I'm like, okay. I don't know.
It reminded me like a Jack Gallagher or something like that, you know?
Maybe it was just me. Maybe people really liked it. I don't know, but it was funny, but get rid of the shit quick. Don't stay in there for a while with the shit. And then it just makes me feel like people that are trying to really watch this product look at things like this and they laugh for a second, but when it's exaggerated to a point where like, okay, you're overdoing it, you kind of turn people's head and be like, what am I watching? This is stupid.
Well, not that match. To be honest with you, the crowd was into that match. They were really what. Nobody got bored of what the Fashion Police was doing. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I don't like corny shit. When they came out, I said to myself, okay, this is gonna be the dumbest shit ever. But I found myself laughing. I really legitimately laughed. I liked the match. I actually enjoyed the match probably more than Dolph Ziggler and Nakamura. And that says a lot right there.
Yeah. I just feel like I was saying, I just think that when he got in the ring and he had the broom for a minute, it was funny, but get rid of it quick. Don't stay in there with the fucking broom because he just.
And then he changed into that chick that looked like looking like Mama's Family from back in the days TV show, and but it was. I enjoyed the match, man. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. I thought it was funny. What I liked about the match was you had Tyler Breeze doing the comedy skits. He's doing all the comedy skit, which was funny, but nothing was corny what he was doing. And then you have Fandango, who was legitimately wrestling and really good wrestling, mind you. It wasn't like he was getting beat up or he was doing simple moves. He was doing pretty good moves. He was showing his athleticism in that match. And I had to say, like, okay, it was a good balance in between what was going on with comedy and wrestling. The only thing is, I really hope every single match doesn't be like this, because I don't mind them being a comedy act. That's fine. But when you start doing it every single week, things get stale very fast.
Yeah. Yeah, and I agree with you on that. You got to be careful on how you handle it because look what happened with the New Day. They're so fucking corny. Like after a while, it's just like I don't want to watch this no more, man. Funny in the beginning, but then you continue doing it. It's like, what else are you gonna do now?
Yeah, I think the best thing they're doing with New Day is keeping them off TV for a while. But so that was the tag team match. Overall, I thought it was a really fun match to watch. It was I had no complaints about it, and I'm a type of person that complain about dumb, gimmicky stuff like that. But I thought it was funny. The Usos played along with it very well, so props to the Usos as well. What was the next match after that? To be honest with you, I totally forgot. Was it the women's?
Match? The female?
Was it? We don't even gotta go in order if we don't want to, but
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
yeah, we'll get everything organized and soon, but we're doing this off the fly right now at the moment.
and yeah, the females match was next. In my personal opinion, there was nothing special about the match. There was nothing,
I didn't even watch.
nothing, no, nothing stood out to this match to say, wow, these women are going at it. This match was decent at best. Especially when you're expecting things from like Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch. You expect a match like that to be okay. This is going to be a really good match, but it didn't do nothing for me.
Let me ask you something, because it's the same thing I feel about Nakamura at the moment. Um, Charlotte, is it me or does Charlotte look like she's not a big deal right now?
No. You're absolutely right. I agree with you.
Okay, as I feel like ever since she jumped to SmackDown, I just feel like she's not. She doesn't have that star power that she had on Raw. It's just like she's starting to become another female. You know what I'm saying?
That's exactly what she began to turn her face, and it makes no sense because you're gonna turn her face after they talked about weeks and weeks of how she betrayed Becky Lynch like 2 times or something like that over the years, and you turn her face with Becky Lynch and her little squad, and it's not doing nothing for her. You know what I mean? I guess WWE forgot why they turned Charlotte Flair heel in the first place, because her as a face didn't do it. They did absolutely shit, for her character, and it doesn't seem. To be honest with you, the person who looked like she's more something than before is actually Natalya. To be honest with you, I mean she's like the leader of her little squad, while Charlotte Flair is just there. I don't know. It did nothing for me. That match did nothing for me, and I totally agree with you. Charlotte Flair lost a lot of luster. I'm not saying that she's not still one of the best females in the roster right now, because she is, but it's something is going on there, and they need to fix it. They need to fix it fast, because the women's division in SmackDown, I don't know what it is. It's just not going anywhere for me.
I wait, but you know what? The women's division on SmackDown, I think, is still, regardless, better than the one on Raw. I just feel like, maybe they're just not really having the best storyline, I guess you could say. I think it's just a weak storyline compared to the ones on Raw, where they always use one girl at a time, or they build up one feud and they forget about the other ones. At least they do something with all the females on SmackDown. So I give them that. But maybe they're just lacking on storyline right now with the female. That's all.
I don't know what it is, but it's something about the females in SmackDown. It's just they're not progressing. Ever since the shakeup, it's just not really doing nothing for me now. I really hope that they change Charlotte Flair around fast, because I'm just hoping by the end of this feud, Charlotte Flair turns on Naomi or whoever it is and goes back to her heelish ways.
Who's the heel on SmackDown in the women's division right now?
You have Carmella. You have
and Carmella could do a good job. I like Carmella. I like her attitude. She has that Jersey, female bitchiness about her. So she can really do her thing if she.
Jersey, no, she's from Staten Island. And she got that New York little swag going on. I didn't really like Carmella at first. I didn't even think she was really that attractive at first, but she's starting to be more attractive to me, to be honest with you. I don't know. It's something I think it's the hat. Her wearing the hat, her being like I'm starting to dig a little bit. What I will say about Carmella is she has a lot of confidence for somebody who gets no pop, because she gets nothing. Like when she comes out, nobody gives a fuck, but she still upholds her confidence, which is always a key thing to wrestling, because you ever see wrestlers that come out to absolutely nothing and they look kind of awkward trying to be confident. You can just tell it's just not really them. It's not coming out natural. She's doing it. So to answer your question, it's her, it's Natalya, and it's Snooker's daughter. So those are the three that's basically feuding with Charlotte, Becky Lynch.
I think they really need to really look at the big picture and say, you know what? If we turn Charlotte back to heel, she could be running shit there and make things more interesting in the women's division, because she could be her own fucking leader pretty much. And everybody would want a gun for her because she's the main fucking she's like the boss pretty much.
And then you got Snooker's daughter in this match, who's supposed to be the monster of of the team.
Snuka's daughter sucks. I've never ever thought she was entertaining. I've never thought she was fucking a big deal. She to me lacks charisma. She's to me lacks mic work. She to me doesn't.
She lacks a lot of things, man. Because in that match, she's supposed to be the monster, almost like the Nia Jax of the of the team, and she did absolutely no monstrous things, except a Samoan drop. It's just
she doesn't look like she has it in her where she even shows any expression. Like she's like dead. Like, yeah, I'm here.
Exactly. And now that Nia Jax is here, it's like, who gives a fuck about her? Like, when I see Tamina Snuka now, I look at her like, oh, she reminds me of Nia Jax's long lost adopted sister or something. Like, I don't know. She just doesn't do nothing for me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And, it's sad because she is a second generation wrestler. But I mean, by now I would have figured, you have your shit together. But yeah, she's definitely lacking something. The match ended with Natalya submitting Becky Lynch with the sharpshooter, which is the reason why I'm saying they, for some reason somebody's behind Natalya because she's the leader of the little welcoming committee, and she's finally getting her little due. Let's see where it goes though. And the next match after that, which was, I believe it was Kevin Owens and AJ Styles. Like I said, I don't know the order, but I believe that's where it was, and it turned out to be probably the best match of the night. It was a great match. AJ Styles and Kevin Owens definitely they got some chemistry.
Yo, they tore it down, man. Let me tell you something. That match, could it have been better? Yes.
Yes, I was gonna say that.
But they did what they had to do, and they were really going at it hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, I enjoyed it. I have no complaints about it. And I know a lot of people were complaining that the ending kind of like was stupid, but it kind of prevents each of them not getting pinned.
But I don't understand, what was the big deal? Why was everybody mad that he went through a hole with his bad leg, and got tangled up? Like, that can't really happen in real life. I'm the type of person, the only thing I find corny are things that's totally impossible that could happen in a real fight scenario. You know what I'm saying? If I fight somebody on top of a table that has holes in it, possibly my leg is gonna go through it and I'm gonna get hurt and I can't get out that shit. I feel like there was nothing wrong with that ending. It protected both of them.
Yeah, exactly. It protected both of them from getting pinned, and you saved that feud because that feud is gonna continue. Nobody lost it. In reality, nobody lost. It was just a fucking count out, and Kevin Owens got the victory that way. That's not really him pinning AJ, so I have no complaints about it. But with that match alone, I can definitely see them having a better match later on, man, down the line.
It was a really good match because the pay-per-view wasn't really, it was good. It just wasn't wow. And it was the best match of the night, a really good match. I feel like they could do a lot better because if I'm not mistaken, that match that they had on Raw when AJ first came in was a great match. That right there is what you call a match. And for some reason, I thought they were going to do as much or maybe even more.
You know what's crazy? I don't remember that match. I remember they fought, but I don't remember how good.
Yeah, it was a really good match. Like, I remember, like, wow, I was really into it. And I was tired as hell.
But you know what? How many of us can really say AJ had a really bad match?
No, since coming here, he hasn't had a bad match. That's great.
He's just been on top of his fucking game, and you can't say nothing bad about this guy. This guy is just one of the best.
Oh, he's one of the best ever. Yeah, he is definitely the best. I'm very upset that he wasn't in WWE 10 years earlier. But I mean, hey, that's the cards that was dealt with him. But it was a really. I'm sorry, I think I cut you off. Go ahead.
No. I was just saying, like, I just think that he's one of the best. I used to think Shawn was one of the best. Kurt Angle was one of the best. But then I put Kurt Angle over Shawn, and I'm gonna have to say Angle and AJ to me are the very top. Like, those guys are no matter. Those guys are number one guys, man.
And it just shows how talented AJ Styles is when he doesn't even do as many moves as he used to. Because if you really look at his old repertoire, he had a lot more in him. Yeah. With that being said, the moves that he's doing now, and we still saying that he's the best ever, or he is. Yeah. We're saying now that he's the best ever compared to 5-6 years ago, says a lot. Because now he tells a story. Now his moves count now. Back in the days, AJ Styles was just doing all his moves and they didn't really count. There was no story being told. But now that I will say that AJ Styles is definitely one of the best ever, and he is basically the shining light of SmackDown. I don't care what they say about Nakamura. It's AJ Styles. As far as I'm concerned, Nakamura is in the coattail of AJ Styles as of right now. I'm not saying it's going to change in the future. It won't change in the future. But as of right now, AJ Styles is the star of that show.
For sure.
But it was a really good match. It ended off, count out, saved, both of them saved face. And that's where it ended. And the next match after that, which was... Oh God, I know I'm missing a match because I want to talk about the Luke Harper and Eric Rowan, but it wasn't that. It was another match before that. Oh my God!
I didn't even watch that shit. I saw them coming out. I was like, I'm not watching this shit. I thought I just don't want to even bother with that shit. I don't know hype. What kind of hype is that match, man? Like it has no hype. Even if the match was the best match of the night, me personally, I don't want to watch that. I don't want to watch these two guys fighting because I have no desire of seeing these two guys go at it. For what reason? I don't know. Like, it's just not there. There's no hype to it.
You wasn't the only one that felt the same. Yeah. That felt like that because the crowd absolutely gave no shits about this match. when I tell you that you can hear Eric Rowan's music clear and loud, is an understatement because you don't even fucking hear nobody. You don't hear nothing in that. All you hear is the pianos. You know how like sometimes the crowd drowns out the music, but you heard his music loud. Those piano keys was at HD because nobody gave a shit. And it's unfortunate because I really really enjoy Luke Harper's work. The match is what it was. It was a match. It was stale. It was nothing going on. Luke Harper got the victory, but it did absolutely nothing for Luke Harper. To be honest with you, Luke Harper's look. First of all, I want to say something about Luke Harper's look. He has the black tank top, and now he's slicking his hair back like a pretty boy in a ponytail. I don't like it at all. I hate it. He looks human. He looks normal now. He just looks like a guy that's gonna, it's just who works cutting down trees now. He doesn't look like a monster. He doesn't look
that intimidating guy where you don't like. Like if that guy walk into a fucking room, he looks intimidating with a dirty ass fucking tank top, the hair, the frizzy hair, the eyes all boggled out. Yeah, I hear you, man.
Now they put in gel in his hair to slick it back. It's like, what the hell is this? This is Luke Harper.
I didn't.
His tank top is. You can't even tell his tank top is dirty now because it's black, so he looks clean. He looks like a clean cut, gelled up hair, hillbilly. Like, come on, man.
I didn't know anything about this until now that you're telling me this. And I'm disappointed in that, man.
Oh my God, it was just absolutely. It was.
And I like him. I like Harper, man. That guy. Listen, when he gets in that ring, that motherfucker can go. Like he's another guy. Just like I've always said, him and Sheamus. You put those guys in the ring, they're gonna fuck you up. And that guy can have good matches for sure, but
as of right now, it seems like WWE has no direction for Luke Harper. What I say is to be honest with you,
fucking good guy. What was the reason of you turning the guy a good guy? Because of the whole Randy Orton fucking bullshit.
Yeah,
that's stupid. And where did that go? Nowhere.
And then on top of that, you have Eric Rowan. The reason why he's beefing with Luke Harper because he wasn't talking smack and basically saying nobody leaves the family. He left the family and he's gonna make them pay. And I'm like, dude, like your family's not even on SmackDown. Bray Wyatt is on Raw. Yeah. So the best case scenario for me, just put them back as a tag team. Put them back as a tag team because a couple years ago they were great as a tag team.
Yes, I agree.
I'm hoping that's going to be the end result, and Luke Harper, gets dirty again and lays off the gel and goes back to him and Eric Rowan because that was a great tag team. As of right now, they're just feuding and it just nobody knows why, and it's pretty ridiculous. But that match was stale. Luke Harper wins. Wow, big deal. Did nothing for him. The match that I forgot to talk about was Sami Zayn.
Oh, okay.
Sami Zayn versus Baron Baldwin. All right, Baron Baldwin and Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn took a beating in this match, and To be honest with you, this match did nothing for me. It wasn't exciting. It wasn't, and this is coming from a Sami Zayn match because I really do enjoy Sami Zayn and his matches. But this match did absolutely nothing for me. Sami Zayn gets the victory after getting basically beaten down by Baron Baldwin, and it just did nothing. It did nothing for me.
Wow. And you know what?
You didn't see that match either.
I'm glad. I heard that Sami won, which is a good thing. But I don't know. I just don't like. I don't like Baldwin. I really don't like him, man. I don't think there's nothing special about him. I've said that a million times.
No.
Yeah, I guess, but.
Well, it seems like you're not the only one that feel that way because the fact that they put Sami Zayn over and Baron Baldwin, which, basically, let's be honest here, Sami Zayn has been borderline Dolph Ziggler. You know what I'm saying? And so the fact that he beat Baron Baldwin, on the SmackDown, on the Backlash and on SmackDown.
Yeah, and on SmackDown.
And 15 seconds it's either saying two things. Either somebody's not really high on Baron Baldwin no more. You know what I'm saying? And they're trying to, kill his little fizzle that he has. Or they got some future plans for Sami Zayn, or they're just trying to even out their status in the SmackDown, the SmackDown roster. But what is it? Like, what is going to be the status then? If they're going to even out their status, this is going to be lower in the mid card? Like, because I don't know. I really don't know. But I am glad that Sami Zayn is getting victories finally. And, I don't know. It's just... This feud is not really doing nothing for me. The matches is not outstanding. It's there. You know what I mean? Baron Baldwin is losing now, which is maybe it's a good thing. I don't know. A lot of people don't like Baron Baldwin, but there's a lot of people that do like him. But with that being said, I feel like they gave Baron Baldwin enough time to develop already. They gave him enough time. They gave him the ball for a little while. And I don't mean the ball for the championship or for a number one contender. I mean, they have given him pushes. He's been winning matches. I think he's not capturing it. He's not capturing the audience. There's nothing there. Baron Baldwin's personality is as plain as Randy Orton. Y'all complain about Randy Orton. Yes. Well, Randy Orton and him is just as bad, in my personal opinion. So, with that being said, he probably will be the champion soon. Who knows? But anyway,
he will.
So basically, I think that's about it. The next match after that is the main event.
Punjabi.
Hard Body Mahal, No Carbs Mahal, the Maharaja, defeats Randy Orton for the championship. Now, let me tell y'all something. I was watching this match and
I didn't.
First,
I saw the end though.
You didn't see the match?
No,
oh, man.
You know what? Let me just say this real quick. I didn't watch the match because I felt like Jinder and Randy Orton will not put on a good match between the two of them. I just felt like that was going to be the outcome of it.
Oh, I felt the same way.
But I did catch when Randy was throwing the two guys around. That's the part I pretty much caught it up to, which I'm glad I did. But I'm almost 100% sure the match wasn't good. Am I right or am I wrong?
Let me just say this. I expected the same thing. I said, my God, this is going to be boring. Because, Randy Orton, let's just be honest. He's a great wrestler. He's just boring. He's him being the champion does nothing for the company.
Yeah, well, Randy has chemistry, but there's only a certain amount of people he has chemistry with. That's the thing. Randy Orton only has that ability with certain people, and not with everybody. Like if you put AJ with anybody, AJ can make a match. You put Randy with certain people, he doesn't gel that great with all of them. So
so I was watching the match and I said to myself, this match is going to be boring. It's going to be bad. I will say this: it wasn't a great match. By far, it wasn't a great match, but in my opinion, it was a lot more better and more entertaining than the match that, Randy had with Bray at WrestleMania. And that's sad. I'm going to say, I have to say that because with the interference of the Singh brothers, or whatever their name is, the Bollywood boys, and just the anticipation by the crowd. Because let me tell you something. There was people cheering for Jinder Mahal. There were people that was clapping when he won the title. All right. People was behind Jinder Mahal for some reason because I guess at this point, nobody gives a shit about Randy Orton no more as a champion. And, and people's been crying about they want something new. Well, you got something new. So it wasn't the greatest match. It was a It was an okay match. Jinder tried, but it was better than Randy and Bray at WrestleMania for sure, in my personal opinion. And the match flowed. My favorite part of the match, of course, is when Randy Orton was throwing the Singh brothers on the announce table, and he almost basically power bombed. Oh no, he Ghostbuster, brain busted one of them on top of it.
He was flinging them around like they were ragdolls.
Oh my God! Let me tell you, it got to a point with the second one where he just like threw him in the air, and the guy landed almost on his head. Yeah. Randy Orton put that face like, oh, like I think I overdid it. And that wasn't part of the character. He put the face like, whoa, like did I do that? Like that's that's horrible. Like I might have killed this guy. Thank God he didn't. Yeah. The guy is okay, but Randy Orton gotta be a little more careful. But that's really about it. A little interference here, and then Jinder Mahal does what the hell is that, $1 million dream drop? I don't even know what you call that, and gets the victory. And
yeah,
I will say this: when he won, I laughed. I was watching it with my stepfather. He died laugh when he saw Jinder Mahal win. He actually enjoyed it. He was happy that he won because nobody expected him to win. Let me tell you something. Jinder Mahal has been a jobber since coming back. All right, he's been a complete jobber for what? How long he's been back? A year? 2 years? Even before that, the 3MB days, he was a complete jobber. And he wins one number one contender match 4 weeks ago, gets a couple of victories, 4 victories, and he wins the WWE Championship. Well, it's fucking hilarious.
But that's the thing. Let me tell you something. It's not that nobody, like the people in the audience, when the camera was focused on everybody's reaction, it wasn't that people were shocked that he won. I think they're just shocked that this guy was a straight up jobber for the past fucking year, for a few years, and out of nowhere you give him the belt. I think that's the shock that people were just like, "What are you guys like? What? How am I supposed to?"
There was even a shot of a girl. She was dying laughing. It wasn't even. She was laughing about this shit. Like, what?
It was more like a shock. Like, am I supposed to take this guy serious? That this guy won the belt? You know what I'm saying? Like, he was just straight up jobber. Let me tell you something. WWE, I'll give them the props though. They have been doing a great fucking job, an awesome job putting this guy over. They're doing a good job of that shit. They proved it on building him towards the belt, and even after celebrating it on SmackDown. So they're doing a great fucking job. The only thing is, people are not buying it because it's hard to swallow when you had this guy fucking no homo. When you had this guy being a jobber for fucking years in WWE, and out of nowhere, he was the number one contender for the belt, and then he took the belt. Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
That's my only problem I got. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, but but WWE wants people to really accept it and go with the flow, which I'm going with the flow because look, I like what you're doing with him, and I like we stated before, this guy has a look that you don't want to fuck with this guy. Like, he looks like a badass, So I think they're doing a great job. I think people just need to chill out and just accept it and just go with it, man. Let's see where it goes, man.
Yeah, there's been a lot of people upset about it. Even Bray Wyatt tweeted, "Damn," that's what he said. No congratulations, just damn. Like, really? Like, it's a lot of people complaining about it. But with that being said, y'all wanted something new. You know what I'm saying? Y'all getting tired of the same people being pushed. Now you got Hard Body Mahal, and people are complaining. I mean, I understand a lot of people's point. I'm not a fan of somebody losing, and the next thing you know, they win a number one contender match, and all of a sudden they turn into a Super Saiyan and they're winning every match now, 4 weeks in. I've never been a fan of that. But with that being said, I think they're doing a pretty good job. I feel like now that the title has changed hands, I really feel like he should hold it at least until SummerSlam, at least. And I believe he is going to hold it till SummerSlam because because there was rumors the reason why he's going to win the championship is because they want to cater to the Indian market. I believe that he's going to hold that title for a couple months because they want to get the celebration on SmackDown. He wouldn't be doing interviews in India. He wouldn't be doing none of this if this is not going to be long term. At least not long term, but at least a few months in. This is not going to be a title run where he's going to lose it 2 weeks later. I highly doubt it.
I know Randy has a rematch at the next pay-per-view, but I honestly hope WWE is not stupid enough to let him fucking lose the belt to Randy Orton. It's just stupid. I think they need.
I don't see it.
He needs to have a run, a legitimate run with that belt, so people can really buy into him being for real. Because if you let him fucking drop that belt, people are not gonna look at this guy being for real. They're gonna go back to being like, all right, well, he won the belt. I knew it. It was just some bullshit, and he's just a jobber again. Like, he's just not. We don't buy into this. You have to have this guy with that belt for a long time. Have him do what what Seth Rollins was doing when he was the champion, running away from all his fights, dodging people. Just let him be that guy.
I'm starting to think that's the reason why they put the Singh brothers with him. You know what I'm saying? Because that I think the Singh brothers is going to be just like what everybody says. The JJ security, they're going to be the reason why he holds on to that title for months.
And I don't mind it. You have to get this guy. If you're going to push him, you're going to have to push him hard. Even if he's not a straight up fighter, if he jumps you from the back or from behind, whatever, do it, because you want to have another top guy from India, right? You don't have any Indian guys there. So if you
they don't got no Indian descent guys,
Yeah, if you want us to buy into it, do it that way.
But I feel like they are going to keep the title on him because they keep stressing the Indian market. He was on SmackDown cutting that promo about 1.3 billion people in India, or a million, or whatever it is. They're really stressing the Indian. They keep mentioning India. So I do feel that definitely that they're gonna keep the title on him for a little while. I'm calling it now. I really do believe that he's gonna hold that title, and AJ Styles is gonna be the one to defeat him. That's what I think. A lot of people think it's gonna be Nakamura. A lot of people think Randy Orton is gonna get the title again. I think it's gonna be AJ Styles. I feel like they're gonna position AJ Styles halfway in the year, maybe SummerSlam, maybe Survivor Series. He's gonna win that title and hold it until maybe WrestleMania, and then that's when he's supposedly gonna defend it with Nakamura. This is my opinion. I didn't hear this was gonna happen, but I feel like that's what's gonna happen. But with that being said, I think that's the way they should go. I don't think Randy Orton should be the one to defeat him. I really don't think nobody else should defeat him. I think it should be AJ Styles. I don't think it should be anybody else but him.
Right. Well, only time will tell what they're gonna do, man.
Yeah, but Jinder Mahal wins, and like I said, there was actually people clapping with him. You know what I'm saying? There was actually people cheering for him, even though he was talking about the U.S. on SmackDown. I mean, there are people behind Jinder Mahal. I mean, let's be honest. He gets more cheers than Roman Reigns, and that says a lot.
I think people just basically, there's a lot of people like me and you. When we look at this guy and he looks like a badass, you know what I'm saying? He looks like that guy you don't want to fuck with. So and on top of that, you also have people that didn't think Randy Orton's fucking run with that belt was important.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people are happy that that belt isn't on Randy at this moment because it wasn't the best run. And it's a little change, with
exactly
brand new. It's somebody that we never really thought would be the number one guy, and we're getting something fresh and new.
Because I guarantee you that if he would have won that title off of AJ Styles, he wouldn't have got the pop. He wouldn't have got the pop that he got. They specifically popped for him because it was somebody took the belt off of Randy Orton.
Yeah,
that's basically what it is. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people's been out here complaining, the reason why he won the belt because he's ripped and he's on steroids. Listen, let me tell you something. It could be maybe one of the reasons, but I don't think it's the sole reason. Let's just be honest here. Alberto Del Rio came back, looking like a fucking brand new person. He was ripped. He was brolic. He didn't get the belt. A lot of people transform their bodies and don't get the belt. I feel like it's a little bit of him transforming his body, and specifically the fact that there's nothing going on SmackDown, and the Indian market. Those are the three main things. You know what I mean?
The Indian market is the number one thing, pretty much.
Yeah, so I mean, they could have easily put the belt back on AJ Styles, but they want to save that. You know what I'm saying? And I don't blame them. You know what I mean? But I don't think it's only because he's roided up with veins come all over his fucking body. I think it's a little bit of mainly the Indian market, and really, who else is there that's fresh? It's a fresh matchup that you could put on SmackDown. It's a fresh matchup. And I know people are gonna say Nakamura, but let's calm down now. Like I said, Nakamura's debut hasn't been really all that. We don't want to jump the gun.
Yeah.
So yeah, so there goes the pay per view. That's the recap of the pay per view. Um, you want to talk about Raw? You want to talk about Raw and SmackDown? Did you see Raw?
I didn't, but I saw parts of it. I mean, we could break it down real fast, like real short.
There's nothing really worthy to break down. Let's just go straight into SmackDown
Yeah,
because
SmackDown was a show, pretty much.
yeah, SmackDown. I mean, Raw was okay. It's gonna be a pretty good pay per view that's gonna be coming up. A Fatal 5-Way. I don't know if you know that, but it's gonna be
Yeah,
you know about the match, right? It's gonna be
yeah.
all right. So you already know what's gonna be going on. I think it's supposed to be the winner. Supposed to be to fight Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship, which it's kind of sad that Brock Lesnar has not even showed up on Raw yet. But yeah, he will show up on a house show. To me, that makes absolutely no sense. I feel like they need to demand Brock to at least show up on Raw. You know what I'm saying? Because it's getting to the point. It's getting to the point where you have people cutting promos like Dean Ambrose saying, "Hey, Brock ain't around, so right now my title is the #1 title." And if they're trying to shift our attention off of Universal Championship and focus on the Intercontinental Championship, I feel like that's really wrong. They should not be doing that.
No.
You know what I mean? But I will say one thing. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I just, it's cool to keep him off TV, but like you said, if you're gonna put him in house shows, it's better you put him on TV because you need to bring attention to your product, not in a house show where only people at a house show is watching it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. And it's just like, it's going to be a good match. One thing I'm going to actually say that the pay-per-view looks really more promising than Backlash because I'm actually going to be looking forward for that pay-per-view. One thing I am going to say that that guy who plays the guitar, the Drifter, I don't know, he made his debut on Raw. He fought Dean Ambrose. And I'm going to say, man, there's something about this guy. I like the guy. I like his look. You know what I'm saying? I like the way he fought Dean Ambrose. He did a move. I don't remember what it was. I think it was a knee to Dean Ambrose's face that looked brutal because Dean Ambrose came from the top rope and the guy just jumped and just kneed him in his face. It looked really, really brutal, but Dean Ambrose protected himself. So that guy, the Drifter, he started off, before the match, he was singing with the guitar. Which was cool because he can't sing, you know what I mean? I mean that's obvious, but it was something about the guy. I like the guy. I like his look. It's kind of refreshing that we're gonna have a new character like that, and I'm actually looking forward to see what they're gonna do with him in weeks to come. I don't know if you know who I'm talking about. His name is something Sampson. The guy who was in NXT.
Yeah, the Drifter or something.
Yeah, he recently lost that match at NXT. He has to get fired or whatever, or lose or leave home.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, that was a pretty good debut or whatever. And Bray Wyatt opened up the show, cutting his long, drawn out promo. I mean, hey, it is what it is, man. I mean, hopefully something goes on with Bray Wyatt. It seemed like he was trying to be a little more different in this promo, but it still really did nothing for me. I still tuned out. I still started looking at my phone and texting. So, it is what it is, man. But on SmackDown, we had the Punjabi celebration. All right. Now, let me tell you something. WWE made a big deal about this celebration, and I'm glad they did. They opened up the show with a bunch of Indians dancing in the ramp. They were happy as hell. I thought it was hilarious because they would laugh. They were like dancing and they would have smiles in their face. They almost looked comical to me because they were just really happy that the Indian, you know what I'm saying? The person they worship was the WWE champion. And he came out and they were just dancing and he's there with the serious face and they all dancing, smiling. It was actually a great celebration, man. I thought they did it really well.
I thought it was good. I thought it was really good. One thing though, the song, his theme music, I want to talk about this. His theme music is okay, but they need to come up with a better theme. Like, I don't know if you remember this character named Muhammad Hassan.
Yeah, of course.
He had, me and Joey would always praise this guy because I thought he was such a fucking great heel, man. He had the look, he had the mic work, he had the major mic work, man. Like he would talk so much smack, and he was just on point with his gimmick. And his theme fit him. This theme that they have for him is a little bit too happy, and you want to dance to it, and move your body and shit and bop.
It's not even about dancing. I never was into another language trying to rap. You know?
No, I know, but it's just the way it goes, and it made it more obvious on SmackDown when you see the people in the crowd now are like, yeah, like they're bopping their heads to the music and shit. I think they need to come up with a theme for him that makes you feel like, oh shit. Like, remember when Psycho Sid came out? He had a theme music that sounded psychotic.
Yeah, like the Psycho.
He needs a theme that's gonna fit his character, his profile. That you're gonna be like, oh, here comes Jinder. Not the
like he's rapping. They're rapping in Indian. Like, basically, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of his theme music, man. I think they need to.
Yeah, but but just because you're from another country doesn't mean you have to have some stereotypical, theme song now. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like I have nothing wrong with his theme song, to be honest. I don't think it's too happy. I think
it is.
No, I mean, yeah, I understand, but I don't know. I
don't know what the fuck.
I gotta say, Nia Jax's song. Nia Jax is a monster. She's coming out to a song that you just you want to start jiving to. But when it comes to him, I don't really have a problem with it. I feel like his song is not that clear though. I feel like the vocals are not that clear. I feel like it should be a little more louder. I don't know. I don't know. When I hear his theme song, I don't hear. To me, it sounds like a jobber theme song in a way. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't really do much. I don't have a problem with it. I feel like it should be like a little louder with the vocals, but it is what it is. But I feel like the celebration was pretty good. So overall, the celebration was a success. Randy Orton did not crash it, which I thought was a smart idea. The guy just debuted as the champion. He celebrated with his country. It's a good thing that he didn't come in and crash it.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't do something like that. It would have been better, but.
No, I'm glad they didn't do it though. I'm glad that they didn't have him come out and mess it up.
I don't know. I think they needed that though. I think they needed some come on. Like, how do you have Randy Orton just lose the belt and then not come out and say anything? Like, he just disappeared.
You know what I think it is? I think they're trying to get him out the title picture because they know that I think
he's facing him in the next pay-per-view.
Yeah, but I think that's gonna be the last defense. That's it, and I feel like they're gonna probably cut the program short because I feel like if Randy Orton would have came out, they probably looking at it like if Randy Orton would have came out, then people's gonna be like, okay, now this is, they're gonna expect this storyline to really go further. If Randy Orton would have came out and say, hey, I'm not done with you. We're gonna be fine. I'm gonna get my title back. Then they're gonna be like, damn, I gotta see this shit a million times. I think they're just trying to position it where once Randy Orton gets his rematch, that's it. It's gonna be over, and he's gonna go to the next program or whoever. That's what I feel like. But that's just my opinion. I mean, I don't know. It could be or whatever. But it's another thing I wanted to talk about SmackDown, which definitely I have to talk about. I think I said it earlier in the podcast. Nakamura, in the main event.
First of all, they opened up the show, right? They opened up the show with these guys coming out, right? That's how it started, right?
Yeah.
Right. So it was like everybody came out. I think Shane McMahon announced who were the participants, and it was Nakamura, it was AJ, it was Sami, it was Baldwin, it was who else was it? Baldwin, who else? Oh, and Dolph Ziggler. Yeah. And the guy that they didn't put in the match came out and was like, yo, how come you're not putting me in the fucking match when I'm the one out of all these guys that won this fucking match. Like, it was Kevin Owens. So, they decided to put him in the match, which I'm glad they did because Kevin Owens should be in that match.
Oh yeah, of course.
More than Baldwin, because I don't know why he's in it. So
exactly.
That led pretty much into this whole mixed tag team that they had at the end of the night, pretty much, that Shane McMahon had to plan out.
Yeah, and like I said earlier, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to nitpick. I don't want to look too deep into situations, but I've always, and if y'all been following the show for the last couple months, usually when I have a gut feeling about something, it usually happens, whether people want to admit it or not. And something about Nakamura being in the ring with all those superstars. He just looks like the less superstar there.
Yeah.
He doesn't shine like everybody else, and that's just my opinion. I know people are gonna say he's over. His theme song, everybody. Okay, that's fine. He's over. His presence doesn't look like a big, gigantic superstar when he's in the ring with those people.
Well, it really stood out when he was in that ring with all the guys when they were when Shane was announcing that.
Yes.
Nakamura said something. I was not feeling it. He had to take out his fucking mouthpiece. And
Yes.
you know who I am.
This is what I was saying. What did I tell you a couple weeks ago? When it gets to the point where he has to do verbal exchanges, it's going to show a lot about Nakamura.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling it. I was not feeling it. And he does not. When you have AJ, when you have Kevin Owens, when you have all these guys surrounding him, he does not. To me, anyways, just to me, he doesn't stand out like that main guy. He doesn't. He don't. He looks like part of the main. Yeah, that's. But he doesn't stand out like over all of them. He doesn't. Especially when he opens his mouth and he said what he said, like, "Oh, Nakamura."
I'm Nakamura, King of Strongta. Like, and then it's like when I heard him talk, I was just like, it was so awkward. Like after he was done, it was so awkward to the point where I thought Kevin Owens was gonna say something like, "Yo, talk English." Like, I don't understand what you're saying. I was waiting for a smart remark by somebody. You know what I mean? But it just seemed like they're trying to protect him. They don't want to go that route with him. But it's like, it's pretty obvious, man. His English is bad. I don't care if he knows 5 or 6 words. I don't care if he's such a great wrestler. That's fine. He's a good wrestler. I'm not gonna lie. He's great. But his English is gonna be the downfall. His promos is gonna be the downfall. They need to have him not really talk. To be honest with you, you remember how Tajiri used to be? Remember when he was William Regal's protege or whatever you want to call it, like sidekick. Yeah. He was like every time he would get mad and want to fight somebody, he would just like scream in Japanese, and then make these silly faces. That's what used to get me about Tajiri. Like, wow, like this guy, when he's yelling in his language and he has that mean face, he looks like he's gonna kick somebody's ass. That's what they should do with Nakamura. They should not have him talk English because it's really awkward. There's no way Nakamura can have a verbal exchange with anybody. And you already know having verbal exchanges and storylines is the main part in the main roster.
Yeah, I'm not saying Nakamura can't cut a promo with somebody, but just I don't know. I just feel like they're not. On NXT, they did a better job with him. And what they do
because he wasn't talking that much.
What they're doing with him on SmackDown is a little, I don't know.
Like on SmackDown, they're trying to show his personality, but he truthfully doesn't really. He has a personality as far as for charisma, natural charisma, but as far as for like being articulate on the mic, it's not working. Yeah, look, yeah. Even the dog even agrees with me, But like I said, the key thing to building a story with somebody else in the main roster. I'm not saying this is the right way, but in WWE's eyes, they want good back and forth. You know what I mean? So when they play that video package of why they're beefing, they're gonna, and when it's time to show Nakamura, or you're gonna hear him say, "I'm Nakamura. I don't care. You know who I am." Like, come on. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what you're gonna put in the video package leading up to the match. Like, come on, man. It's not gonna flow well. It's really not gonna flow well. And
stupid.
Yeah, you jackass. Like, come on, man. Like I'm telling you, it's gonna get to a point where the fans are gonna realize this, and they're gonna shit on Nakamura. The reason why it wasn't so transparent in NXT because, for what I understand, he wasn't talking that much. His wrestling was what really got him over. Now they're gonna focus on the main roster, his personality, and just his mic work is just not gonna add up, man. And the moral of the story is him in that ring with all those superstars. Just he seemed like the less superstar, in my opinion.
You know what's crazy? I know we're gonna get a lot of backlash on what we're saying about Nakamura. Listen, we like Nakamura. We do. We think he's really good and shit. His entrance really alone is is a key thing on Nakamura. Like that alone really makes him stand out over everybody because he has one of those cool entrances. But I don't know, the whole thing with him being on SmackDown right now, how they're booking him, I'm not feeling it. I think they need to switch something. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I think it's just like you were saying. Him only saying a certain amount of things, or maybe he needs to talk a little bit more because he does know his English. He does have an accent, obviously, but he could say a little bit more if he could fucking speak, right? And have him mix it up a little bit more, not just come out there and just not say too much, and he's just saying one word that's just really weird, like I'm Nakamura and you do jackass. Like you making him sound a little retarded is what you're doing. Like he just has no fucking ability to speak. You know, I don't know. I just don't know what the fuck it is. I'm afraid. I'm afraid they're gonna fuck him over.
I'm not gonna say I'm afraid as of right now. I feel like if his buzz is gonna die, which maybe it won't, it's not gonna die into a long time.
I'm not
have a lot of people.
Yeah, but it may not die, but it's definitely not gonna be where it should be. Is my thing. You know what I'm saying? Like he should be one of the overest guys there on the roster, which he is now. But who's to say that will diminish after a few months because of the way his booking is right now?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And yeah, no, I definitely agree with you. Nakamura definitely. I don't know. I would not even Nakamura. WWE needs to put the cork in Nakamura's mouth for a little while, so he definitely, start studying the English language a little bit better because saying the same 3 words every week is only going to go up so far. It's really, oh god damn, sorry, excuse me. It is what it is, man. But and somebody just hold on, I'm sorry. I thought you messaged me. But yeah, that was basically the recap of SmackDown. Did you hear about the Broken Hardy and the Anthem thing going on? Did you get that news?
I think his wife is like beefing again with the guys from TNA because they're saying that no matter what, they have the rights. They're not giving it up, and WWE is not interested supposedly because they got word of that.
Basically, they said that they've been reaching out to WWE or no, I think they asked WWE to call them if they want the rights to call them, and basically they're saying that WWE told them that they have no interest in the character, which basically maybe they're saying they have no interest in purchasing the character or whatnot. But Rebby Sky comes out and basically says that of course they're going to say that in that radio show because they own it. They're basically saying that the radio show that they were saying it, they own that radio show, Anthem. So, of course, they're going to say, stuff like that. Basically, they're saying that they're lying. And I know on Monday Night Raw, they had changed Matt Hardy's graphic. I know from one graphic, it was him with the broken face, with the smile. And then the next graphic was him regular, looking like Matt Hardy, version 1, whatever. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if they're just like throwing a swerve ball at us. Maybe maybe WWE, because I heard reports that WWE Anthem was in talks about the character. I think that Anthem is saying that to throw a little swerve ball, so when WWE debuts it, it'll be more of a surprise. That's what I think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Could
but that's
a possibility.
That's just my opinion. And there was something else I wanted to get into. Damn.
You wanted to get into who? Sasha, Charlotte, which one?
Oh man, if I really had a choice, to be honest with you, I don't know. Out of all of them, if I had to choose one, oh man, all right, just to have fun for one night, I would pick Naomi because as if it's real, if it's not but Paz, you know what I'm saying. But to have it long term, I don't know, man. Who you pick?
Long term?
Long term, like to have it long term, like like. You're gonna see her. No, you're gonna be seeing her for the long time, at least a year, 2 years, just chilling.
Damn, that's a hard one. I don't want to be with anybody long term.
But not in the relationship, just somebody that you just
even if I'm just trying to pretend that I don't get easily bored after a while. So let me just say Damn, that is a tough one right there. Uh, Alexa Bliss, I guess. I think Alexa Bliss has. There's something about her that I think she's cute, man. She's cute and she's short.
Yeah, I
So
like short girls too. Yeah,
I,
but I
I,
don't know.
I think out of all the girls there right now, I think she can get it.
Mm. Did you see the video of CM Punk getting to that argument in that show?
No, which show? Is it the
Thi-
old one
thi-
where he was the guy from China?
no. This is a new show that's coming out. It's I don't know the name of it. It's like a bunch of people, like I guess like B-rated superstars, and it's basically a show, like almost like a Survivor type shit. And CM Punk is one of the cast, and he's getting into a heated argument with another guy. You have to see the video. I think it's on our page,
I'm, I'm,
and
I'm I'm actually going onto YouTube right now checking it.
and the guy is arguing with CM Punk, and the guy, and we talk about heated argument, man. If this shit, because I'm a type of person, I think reality shows are scripted. That's how I feel. So if
This
this
is
is
a reality show you're talking about?
this is a reality show, yes. Basically, it's like a show, like not
Oh,
like a
I see. It's on our page. You're right. Yeah.
yeah, it's not like a reality show like Love and Hip Hop. We're talking about like, this is supposed to be some sort of like a game type show.
Versus he versus it. So he is CM Punk versus Johnny Bananas from MTV Challenge.
Yeah, whatever. So the guy, he's yelling at CM Punk, and they're face to face. The guy's telling CM Punk, after I tell you, you could go see it. He's basically saying, you got knocked out in 15 seconds, and you got tapped out, and you know what I mean? Like, you didn't make it in wrestling, you didn't make it in UFC. I'm talking about really screaming at CM Punk, man. It was actually kind of crazy. CM Punk kept this cool. CM Punk was like, damn, you a fan. Basically, you're a fan because you know everything I do in my career and this and this and that. You've been following me, whatever. But the guy is just one of those, you could tell, like one of those ignorant people that just likes to yell and like just talk about, shit. You know what I mean? And he really, was stressing the fact that CM Punk got knocked out in UFC or submitted, which I thought it was kind of funny in a way. And, I don't understand why CM Punk just didn't come out and tell him, well, I could beat you up in 15 seconds, So what would that make you? Or something like that, So, but I'm guessing maybe they signed a contract where things can't get too hated because, when you go into those type of TV shows, I don't think you're allowed to fight or punch somebody in the face. So, well, I guarantee that.
Get kicked out and shit.
Yeah, but when you get a chance, go see that video, man. It's actually kind of funny.
Yeah.
And there's another news going around that supposedly, I don't know how true this is, so take this with a grade of salt, but supposedly Eric Rowan kind of gave a hint of who could be Sister Abigail. So basically, I guess there is going to be a Sister Abigail coming to the roster soon. Mm-hmm. I don't know how that's going to play out. Is Sister Abigail going to be with Eric Rowan? Is that the new thing going on, or I don't know? Are they going to put the Wyatts back? So yeah, but and I think that's about it, man. I think we covered everything we needed to cover.
Yeah, I think that's about it for sure.
But I want to thank everybody for listening. This was the first show that me and Byron did solo. Laura Phoenix couldn't make it today. As y'all know, Joey 924 has kind of officially, gave up the podcast world. Until further notice, I believe he'll be back. But hey, maybe not. We all thought that Stone Cold would be back, and he never came back.
We always said that Brett would never show up.
Yeah, and Sean is not really a part of the show anymore either, just to let y'all know. He will be on once in a while, though. He did state that, whenever he has chance, but he has a lot going on in his life. So me and Byron will be taking over the show. Yeah, we are going to do major changes real soon, to be honest.
Me and O don't have anything going on in our life, so...
Yeah. Except, I work, go to the gym, go out, and my spare time, I play video games and do podcasts. So ain't nothing wrong with that. But
I got breaking news. Well, somewhat. I don't know if you not that a lot of you guys care about it, maybe, but a preview of the 2K18 video game is going to be shown today, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. That's supposedly hitting stores in October, so I'm actually hyped about that. I can't wait to see a little teaser or whatever they're planning to show. So that's good.
Yeah, I haven't played a wrestling video game in a long time.
I'm a video game fanatic, and especially when it comes to wrestling games, the way they've been doing it, So I'm hyped for it. I'm hyped. I mean, hopefully it's better than the last one. So let's see what happens.
Yeah. I heard it wasn't really all that. I had friends that told me they didn't even
What,
play it
17?
after. Yeah.
I like it. I like 17. I play it.
I heard people tell me that they're not really into it as much. I don't know. But yeah. I mean, maybe I'll try it out because I used to love wrestling video games, man. I was really into. I used to be really good at them, but for some reason, I just I don't know if I grew out of it. I'm so into first person shooting now. I just can't see myself playing wrestling games. But not that it's a diss because I like wrestling games. But I'll try. Maybe I might buy it. But I was telling you.
You have to, because me and Joey are still waiting for you.
Yeah. Nah, I'm most likely I'm gonna buy it. I mean, I get it for the PS4. But like I was telling y'all before, but before we end the podcast, we're gonna be doing some major changes in the show. We might add maybe one or two people into the show. We're not sure yet. We're gonna see how me and Byron does this. Laura Phoenix is still a part of the show. Whenever she is ready, she will be back, and we might add maybe one or two people. I'm not sure. So, this is our first time. Cut us some slack. I feel like we did a pretty good job for especially me, because I'm really relatively new in the podcast world. I've already been doing this already for a little over a year. So, give me some time. Trust me. And with that being said, thank you for listening to Roundtable Wrestling Radio, which is not really a roundtable. It's just two people here. It's a two-seater. So yeah. But I'm Big O, and that's Byron. What does that mouth do, ladies?
Later.